August 29th. There we go. We're called, let's stand and say Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So Stephanie's not here this week, so we're going to do roll call. Helen Hersey, Deirdre Murphy, Christine Arnold, absent are Carrie Collins and Karen Nagel. Okay. So this is the agenda that I set for the last meeting. This is our second makeup meeting this year. So I think we're going to have to do some restructuring because the very first thing on the list is the pop-up museum at Chautauqua event. And because this is the only place we can discuss anything, I think we need to talk about and get some ideas for restructuring the Heritage Commission in a way that allows us subcommittees. Because it doesn't matter how many volunteers we have, if we can't all get together, three of us in the same room, then we can't get anything done. And so if we can kind of break it up into subcommittees, then progress can be made.
Absolutely. And since I'm on the Clay County Preservation Board as well, a lot of times in our group we will have, because we fall under the same sunshine laws that the Heritage Commission does, and we'll split up into 2 or 3 people that want to take on a project for themselves. And then they're able to meet, provided that they are in a public place. It still gets advertised, but it can be, you have to just take your own minutes and then report back. And then those minutes become part of the overall minutes. So that works at the county level, so I'm assuming it could work for us here. And that way we could be encouraged to get it more accomplished in the month rather than only meeting for one time each month. And the problem and issues that have fallen on us as an organization is that unless we have a quorum, then we can't meet. So sometimes it's possible that we don't meet for 2 months. And when that happens, you lose that energy that any organization has when you're doing one meeting after another. So I think it's a good idea. And
we've added events, and so this month we had, in September was scheduled a historical roundtable, which had to be postponed because we didn't meet for 2 months before that. So none of the arrangements were made and voted on. It has to be voted on, right down to the catering has to be voted on. And so after announcing it at the last historical roundtable, I've had to postpone. And we'll have to discuss the date then. But that's the reason we're fine. And the first thing on the agenda is the pop-up museum and the Chautauqua event.
Right, and I would be happy to be part of a subcommittee on that and take the Heritage Museum piece and see how that would meld with the whole overall event, which will be a Chautauqua event.
This is the event application.
Okay, I'll fill it out. I will.
I have not, I started, I got it and I was going to fill it out, but there was one date that came up. It's supposed to take the place of our Mother's Day, so that we,
right.
And so there were dates available. We needed a weekend. So we're going to have to nail that down, and it has to be approved by council.
Right.
So
I think that at the next council meeting, they are having a special meeting, I guess, on September 3rd, which is, I guess, the Tuesday.
But it's the second.
Or the second, which is that Tuesday, not the
right,
the
because
first,
of Labor
because
Day.
of Labor Day weekend. So we could go and ask at that time. And then the regular council meeting has then been moved to, I believe, the 14th, which would be the 2 Mondays after that.
Well, Drew and I at a meeting had discussed a possible date for this, so she set it aside, but it can't be officially reserved
What
until then.
date did she have? Do you remember?
She's not in here. She can look it up. It was like the only weekend, and that's moving one other group, even though it's that far out. That was the only weekend it was available.
Okay. So, in addition to that, we should probably set up a meeting time for our subcommittee meeting.
Right.
And if we do that, we will still need to fill out, if we're gonna meet at the pavilion, we would need to fill out this form for that meeting. And if we have it here, then we just have to tell them, find out if there's, this room is gonna be available.
Well, I think that might help solve our problems because we're adding more events, and there's nothing worse than reserving everything
Right.
to put on an event and having to cancel.
The Heritage Commission really has a full plate
We do.
of things that we do throughout the year. And all of those, events, they just seem like they magically happen, and, oh, we're having a tour of homes, or, oh, we're having, 200, fourth graders through the city to teach them about, the history of Keystone. But none of those things happen just magically. It takes a lot of coordination, either between the schools or the parents and the teachers, and, dates and times, and just the logistics of it. And so we can't, again, back to Christine's point, we can't really miss meetings because then we never get anything accomplished.
So we have, in April is the fourth grade field trip. And then we've got the July, the pie contest in July, which is you
Right.
and I. The historical roundtable,
Right.
which is supposed to be every September. And
Then the
the,
tour homes,
and then, well, and we
or
have.
the Halloween.
We
the
have
one
Boo on the
Boulevard.
Boulevard photo booth, and then there was another one in there somewhere. What am I forgetting? Oh, the wreaths.
Oh, the wreaths.
The wreaths. The wreaths have to be done.
So we put, just so the public knows, that we put, the Heritage Commission we've put together wreaths that we collect each year, and we take them back from the businesses, but we put the wreaths on all of the businesses downtown, in the downtown core, so that there's kind of a coordinated look. And then after the holiday season, we pick up those wreaths, and it's like anything else, we, have to set up a day and a time when you'll see us out there on the street delivering wreaths to all the businesses.
First, we have to do all the maintenance on the.
But usually, they need a little shoo-shooing up, and they've been sitting in a warehouse for the whole year, so there's that.
Okay, so I think I've been just trying to figure out how we're going to.
So let's set up a meeting.
Right.
Can you explain the Chautauqua Cup?
Okay.
Oh, sure. What, you go ahead.
No, well, the pop-up was your idea.
Well, let me just back up a little bit. So I proposed to the city council that the Keystone Heights community needed a museum of our own to house all of the different, historic items that we have. And it is one of the things I want to talk about today too. And things that people donate to us, like where do we put them? And so at the time, the council felt that there were too many things happening within the city with regards to how they were going to utilize this building, the changes that are happening at the corner of 21 and 100, and for those reasons, they kind of got put on the back burner. So I thought to myself that we could have a pop-up museum, just like you see pop-up stores or pop-up eateries, that would give the community an opportunity to see all of the historic things that we have that are just hidden away that no one ever gets to see. And so I thought it would just be a great idea that if we had a pop-up museum, and we were planning on hosting that over at the pavilion for an entire weekend, like a long weekend, Friday, Saturday kind of thing. And then we would take it down and store everything away. But we would do that in the same time. We would also do not just the museum, so people could come through the pavilion and see all the historical items, but that we would also have a Chautauqua event. And the Chautauqua event, Keystone Heights back in the 20s was a Chautauqua city. And it really brought people together into the community that were educators, artists, musicians, and it was also very Christian based. And they had all kinds of talks about all of the things, because keep in mind, there's no Facebook, there's, it's 1920s. And so this was a way of everyone to see different paintings and different music and all of that. And this whole Chautauqua scene was happening at the same time throughout the entire country. Just so happened that Keystone Heights had a very sophisticated pool of founders, and people that came to this community were really highly educated, and they also had certain means. And those were the kinds of people that were interested in these Chautauqua events. And so, there were poetry readings, that kind of thing. And so we thought, wow, let's have a Chautauqua event and have like an art gallery thing, and maybe people that had art of Keystone Heights, kind of tie it in all with our centennial theme, which of course in 2025, Keystone Heights will be 100 years old. So this just seemed very appropriate for the Heritage Commission to have a museum pop up where everyone could come and see all the items we have in storage that are of historic importance to the community, and have a Chautauqua event at the same time. Did that kind of?
That's great. I think that helps to honor the memory of those people as well.
Yeah.
Well, it was J.C. Penney's was one of our sponsors.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite that there was a lot of money that was poured into it. Keystone was chosen as the Southern Chautauqua. It's usually held, the headquarters was in Chautauqua, New York. It was like camp meeting for intellectuals, kind of, or an early PBS. They had everything
Right.
you would
Let's
have
do
on
it.
PBS. You had speakers on foreign policy. You had speakers on health, and the city was chosen, which was quite the honor because of
The president, and the president of the Chautauqua moved to Keystone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dr. Mead.
Dr. Mead. And so when he moved here, he thought, well,
That's his
just-
house over there, isn't it?
yeah. Well, it's down on this street.
No, that's Dr. Crawford.
Okay.
Dr. Mead's house is over on Chautauqua Way. It's the one that looks like a little Alamo. It's a little Pueblo
right,
style.
right,
It's
right,
over by the
yeah.
Women's Club.
Yeah.
Is the Women's Club, where the Women's Club sits now, was part of the Chautauqua complex. It was the annex, or they called it the Opera House. And then the circle, Chautauqua Circle, was a large amphitheater.
Well, thank you for that information.
Yeah. So when he moved here, he decided to just bring the whole Chautauqua idea with him. So, yeah.
So anyway, we have decided to try to bring that back to Keystone. We used to be a Chautauqua city. We're going to try to be a Chautauqua city again. And the Heritage Commission is spearheading it. So let's see, the pop-up museum, like I said, this is the first thing, and then
So let's talk about when we could meet to kind of fine tune the bigger picture, not the fine tuning rather, but to work out the dates and get that all coordinated with the city.
well, Drew has the dates, and
Okay.
she's here today.
All
So,
right.
and it's in her book.
Okay.
I should have written it down, but it was a meeting about a lot of different things, and I didn't write it down.
Okay.
I thought I did, but I went through everything this morning and I didn't. Anyway, and then if we can try to, I have the Heritage Commission Facebook page. Hey, are you all familiar with our Facebook page? Okay. Well, I use my maiden name, Christine Byrne, on the poster there.
It's
my
such
married
a
was on it.
great site, everybody.
It's,
I know.
We've got a great group there, and I think we can advertise for a subcommittee, maybe, people who are interested in just this particular thing. But I think we need a set amount, because this is going to be a large event, it really is. It's going to take a lot of effort, and the city doesn't have a large budget, so we try to do all of this stuff through volunteers.
Which we are also
Yes, we're all
volunteers.
volunteers. So if we want to come up with a possible date, and then I can put it on the Facebook page and see how many people turn up.
Well, I'm not talking about, we're talking about just a date for
just-
our subcommittee meeting.
Yes,
Okay, let me look.
just a date for the subcommittee.
What did you have in mind? Like
Let me see.
October
Get
maybe?
back. Trying to get back on my calendar here. Connect. Because then that way, there just needs to be like one or two of us there for a
Right.
subcommittee, right?
Right. Mhm.
Okay, that's good. October, August. Because it's supposed to be in, what, May?
Right. I'm available the first 2 weeks in October. After that, I'll be on vacation.
Okay. How about, well, we have.
Well, the 18th through the 30th, I'll be gone.
We don't have, you know what we can do? We have a meeting in September on the 17th. Maybe we can piggyback on the back of our.
Oh, that's a
our
great
meeting.
idea. Okay. That's a great idea.
September 17th.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Okay, I don't know if we need to vote on that or not. Do we need to vote on that subcommittee meeting? I think we do. So somebody has to make a motion besides me, because I can't.
Well, I make a motion to.
And it would be 11 o'clock.
Have a subcommittee meeting following our regularly scheduled meeting for September 17th to discuss the pop-up museum and Chautauqua event, to just tailgate onto our regular meeting.
All right. Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Okay. Motion carries. September 17th, 11 o'clock, subcommittee meeting. And I'll put that on the Facebook page and we'll just try to get it as large a turnout as possible. The more volunteers, the better. Okay, so that takes care of that. That was a big worry of mine. Doesn't like
After the 10 o'clock meeting,
after the 10 o'clock meeting. That way we're guaranteed to be here, and the room is reserved.
And it's in a public space, so
Right.
we should
We should be covered
We
as far
should
as
be
sunshine
fine.
laws. Sunshine laws are pretty strict.
But we do still have to let Drew know that we will be
Right.
meeting so that she can advertise. Just let everybody.
Yeah, it has to be advertised. Okay, so that takes care of this. Update on City of Keystone Heights and 411 markers.
Okay. So, I had planned on meeting, again, just let me back up a little bit. So the marker, similar to the one that's over across the street for the Keystone Inn, those big black markers that you see in town and as you go through any town, Keystone doesn't have one for the actual city. So we decided as the Heritage Commission to make that happen. And there are steps, because this is something that's done at the state level. And so the applications all have to go to Tallahassee. Because we are planning on putting the marker on the City of Keystone Heights grounds, which would probably be somewhere in the vicinity of this building, we have to go to the council, city council, for approval because they are the landlords. So I had planned on meeting with them last month when we were to have a regularly scheduled council meeting, but we had a storm and the council meeting was postponed till 3 days later. Unfortunately, I was going on vacation the next day and made my flights so that I could get to the council meeting and then leave the next day. Well, the meeting was pushed and I went on vacation. So I had to wait till the following month, which will be this month, to present to the council for the application. So there's 2 applications. One would be for the city of Keystone Heights and the other one would be for Fort 11. Fort 11 is going to be more on the back burner. We're trying to push forward the Keystone marker. These markers, think about it, it's for the state. So every small city, every large city can have a request for these markers. So if you think about it like that, the timeline is about 7 months, to get these things completed. And so I'm trying to get this pushed through so that next year during our centennial 2025, even if it's not till November, that we have the Keystone Heights marker. So if we don't get the Fort 11 marker till 2026, that's fine. I really would like to have the other marker completed in 2025 so that we can dedicate it to the city in its 100th year. Pretty amazing. So that's pretty much the status of those 2 markers.
Are y'all familiar with Fort 11?
Nope.
Okay. Fort 11 was the second Seminole Indian war fort, and it sat on the hill over there.
Kind of across the street at the park.
Right, just on the other side. Well, not quite where the Lawrence Bungalow sits right there, more just on the other side of Jasmine.
In that general vicinity, because the forts were made from wood, there's not a lot of,
We're trying to find the
material
original site.
that you can really hone in on the exact site.
But we did have 3 generals that their first commands were here. It was rather large. The walls were 18 feet high, and it encompassed an acre, and there were about 40 men stationed there along with cavalry, and they patrolled the whole area. So we're trying to get a marker for that.
And there were these forts throughout the state, and they're just numbered, basically. And the idea was that you could, in a day's time, walk from one fort to the other and then have refuge for the evening. And so soldiers could walk from fort to fort, being 20 miles apart, I believe.
Yes.
Was the distance, basically, if you would
So
think
all of-
about even
all of
walking
northern
20
Florida
miles
was
in
cut up
one
into
day.
squares.
So was actual fighting done here?
No, there was no
Okay.
fighting done here. We were fortunate. There were Indians here, of course. There were everywhere Indian villages, but they sold their property and they moved peacefully at the very beginning, and so we didn't have any fighting here whatsoever. They just mostly kind of patrolled, kept the peace, kept the supply. Because this road was here. It was the road to Fort Russell, and it went from Green Coast or from Middleburg, where they took the ferry and came through here. And the mail and all that, you got to protect the mail. So anyway, it was something that existed, and we are trying to find it right now. We do have an archaeologist, a volunteer archaeologist, who uses ground penetrating radar. He specializes in these forts, which is something that came up, being as it came up right now. I got a message. Tom Parham now he sent me a message, so I have to bring it up at this one. He has let me, because I want to read it exactly. get over here to this one. Here he is. Okay. I'm a resident, Keystone resident. He lives here, and I have a lot of experience speaking publicly, primarily on the Maple Leaf shipwreck, which was a ship that went down in the St. John's during the Civil War, or I think, no, before the Civil War. And he did the archaeological dig on that. He has a program that he does, and he wants to be able to present that at the pavilion on Maple Leaf and other historical events in the area.
Maybe during the Chautauqua.
Well,
If he could be available for the Chautauqua, that would be,
that would,
Excellent.
yeah, I would like to, and we
Yeah.
have to, and we'll see if he'll wait that long, but actually, it's not, the Chautauqua is now coming up on us really quickly. He would, with the pop-up museum, would we have the facility inside to be able to do presentations inside?
that's the idea.
Okay, so we can do, good.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna do the one on Keystone Heights, and I don't wanna stand out in the heat in May.
Right, no, with
Okay.
air conditioned inside and we can have.
Okay, so what do you guys think about him doing his presentation at the Chicago?
I've actually met with him several times at the Clay County stuff, on 411. So I did talk to him about it extensively.
He just got
and-
back from a trip to Washington doing research in the archives up
Yeah,
there, and
he's so knowledgeable.
Right.
He's amazing. So yeah, I'm sure he would be very interested in coming down.
I don't think we have to, I think we can do that through the subcommittee, is compile the list of, because
Right.
we're gonna need speakers. And,
And he could be one.
right,
And
so.
you'll be the other one.
So Tom Parham, well, I would like, I'm going to approach Cornelius Clayton also. One thing that was, I attended the historical roundtable for Clay County. I go to theirs, and that's where all the historical groups in Clay County meet. What makes our event here, which was the second annual, is supposed to have taken place in September, is that I try to encompass the 4 counties because we're right on the corner. So like Interlochen and Flore Home and but also what they had some speakers there that were talking about the Black community, the heritage in the local area. And there actually, we have a Black community here that's never heard from, which is Speedville. And I'm sure they have their own historians.
Right.
And so I would like to
Clayton
make
would be the person.
I'd like to make a connection there and see if they would do a presentation at the Chautauqua
Oh, that's a
in honor of the local Black history.
great.
But also invite them when we reschedule our Quad County Historical Roundtable.
Is Bradford included in that?
Yes, I want to do Stark, Waldo, everything in all, as far away as Palatka. Clay County is so organized, and when I go, these groups are all different kinds of groups. The little 501c3 volunteers, we're unique because we're a part of the city, but most of the groups are not. And we just all share information on how to get things accomplished. You just learn so much, and the little groups, I don't think they do that in these other surrounding counties. So I'd kind of like for us to take a leadership role and get together, because we have a lot of shared history with them. And just kind of get together and make sure everybody learns from each other. But like I said, that needs to be rescheduled. It was scheduled for September, and I'm wondering if we can schedule it for November. We don't have anything in November.
Okay.
And it would, I mean,
Whatever
there's,
you say.
other than catering and an agenda for the meeting, it's mostly networking. It's good for the city of Keystone, and I think as a Heritage Commission, it's something we need to promote. Clay County really goes all out coordinating their groups, and it's really impressive every time I go. I learn a lot.
DeWitt and I know some of the older people at Speedville, so we can reach out.
Excellent.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent. I mean, it's, they were talking about a black school that they were trying to preserve there, and there was a gentleman, and I got his card, and he was talking about the black history in the area. He was a little resentful that it wasn't acknowledged, and I said, would you come speak? You know, okay, will you come tell us about it? And he was a little taken aback, but I said, how is anyone going to know if you don't come speak at our events? And because Keystone is very new history, and their history predates the city. So yeah, we would really, really like for, if we can get the photographs, anything, you know, try to, and I'm sure they have their own local historians, if we could coordinate with them.
Perhaps through the churches, there's 2 churches out there, maybe 3.
Yeah, we've just never had that coordination between the communities, and I think the Chautauqua event would be a wonderful,
Place for that.
yes, that's exactly what it was meant for. Okay, so, let's see, the roundtable event. So we're going to have to, I'm going to have to get together with Drew, but then, see, we have to vote on a date. Sometime that the pavilion is available, it has to be a Saturday, and that's tough. I wonder if she's anywhere. Drew, are you listening? Thank you.
That's great.
Anyway, let's see. The next one is Boo on the Boulevard photo booth. I've gotten, I set that up every year. It's right across the street in my driveway, because we have all the, you know, all the stuff going on here, and I always kind of go over at the top for mine. And it's just so, we have several little outreach programs, like the 4th of July pie contest, and it's to stay visible in the community, and so people can know that we're here and talk to us about any of their issues or questions or anything, and hopefully contribute stories.
And we have a lot of kids and families that come for Halloween, you know, trick-or-treating in the city, which is our Boo on the Boulevard event. And when they're all downtown here, you know, it's really just a hop to go over by the library and Christine's house.
And we just set up a setting there, and we take a photograph with their banner. We're going to try to reschedule the historic roundtable, the 4-county historic roundtable that we had scheduled for September that had to be canceled. We're going to try to reschedule it for November.
Right, you have that for the 28th,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Rescheduled for November.
Yeah, if we could do it, and I know it's going to be hard, it has to be on a Saturday.
The only Saturdays that are available in November are the 23rd and 3rd, which is the Saturday before and after Thanksgiving.
Well, I think we could, let's do it on the 30th. I've got to have time to get the invitations out and the RSVPs
Now,
back.
The 2nd, November 2nd is available, but that's during voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
not good.
that would
Yeah.
probably not be good. for
No.
the party. That's
I think the
why-
30th is good. Thanksgiving's over.
Yeah, let's do the 30th. I'll get the letters out.
The round table, that is all you guys, that doesn't require public works besides just regular.
It, absolutely not. It just requires, once I get the RSVPs back, we'll know how many tables we need.
Right.
And we do everything ourselves.
So it's really the pavilion.
Yes, it's just a pavilion, rental,
Right.
and then I will give you a form that y'all guys can fill out.
Okay.
Or we filled out the other form.
We have the event form, right?
Well,
one?
this is the event form for the Chautauqua. The pavilion rental is a different form.
March. You got that?
Right, that's this one right here.
Oh, okay.
3rd and 4th of March, that was another thing. The 3rd and 4th of March is the date for this one.
Okay.
Applicant, let's see.
And I have the
Event
form,
dates.
the one for the round table, I already have a form added on here, and we're still waiting for 10 to 2.
Yes,
Correct, we're just gonna change the date to November.
Okay.
November 30th.
I just want, that Saturday, with Thanksgiving, a lot of people are gonna be out of town,
Yeah,
shopping. I don't know.
I mean, and that's why I was asking about public works.
Maybe the one before would be better. Both of them are gonna be bad, but I bet you're not gonna have a whole lot of participation.
Which one do you think is better?
Both of them are bad, but I would say
People
the
are
first one
traveling,
would be
kids
better.
have off that week.
Right.
So they're
Okay,
just
I would think
traveling,
the
they're
one
leaving out
before-
Friday.
That's true. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about the
the other
travel
one.
thing.
So which date? It's not the 30th?
I don't know if either one of them are great. The
Right.
23rd is probably gonna be better.
What about January?
Then, but it's supposed to be an annual event. and That means we won't have it this year. That would be our event for next year, which next year I'm hoping to get it back on schedule for September. September was that perfect little lull.
What was it, the second, because of voting, you didn't think there'd be parking?
November 2nd, they will be open for parking. And
November 2nd, let's see.
We would vote.
Yeah.
So this will be parking,
Right.
they'll be parking all along here.
Right.
And when this is full, sometimes people park over there.
But do you think,
There's probably going to be, we had, what, 30 people there last time? I'm expecting more this time because I'm, those that went last
Saturday is
year.
more likely that people are gonna be parking here and here. So, I mean, it could, I was just throwing that out there.
Right. So then the 3rd would be good. If it's,
Sunday?
That's a Sunday.
oh, is it a Sunday?
No, that won't work.
Second?
Second is a Saturday.
Second's a Saturday.
Yeah.
But parking is the only issue, and I think we won't
Voting is
have,
still, I mean, we still have voting in the council room all the way to the 5th.
I wouldn't
Well,
think
this-
that would fit that much parking.
no, it won't.
Well, because people come and go.
Right.
I mean, not
They
every,
will also take, if they do come and go, and it's not gonna take up that much parking, but they will have their signs out, it'll be distracting, they might, you'll have competition being able to say where they're going.
Well, all of these people will be coming with a letter of invitation, and they will have RSVP'd. So it's not like we're trying to get them off the street.
Totally.
Yeah, okay. So November
Second.
2nd, okay, November 2nd.
Thanksgiving.
Shop.
thank you for that.
I had too much
You're right.
experience at the school and stuff, trying to
Yeah.
do anything on those weekends, it's
Right.
like, forget it.
You're right.
November 2nd. Okay, I will get those letters out so that I can get the RSVPs back. In plenty of time. We had decided on Cedar River catering this time. Okay.
Historic Round Table event, Saturday, November 2nd.
And then next year, we'll try to get it back on September, so that people are used to coming. And like I said, you're talking about anyone who belongs to any of these groups is very dedicated.
Do you wanna go ahead and fill out the paperwork for September? Right
Yeah.
now, every Saturday is, you should probably go ahead and put it.
Okay, we'll do that.
Every Saturday is not booked so far, so that would be a good plan. Just go ahead and-
For September next year, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
All right, is there anything else I can help you?
No, thanks.
All right, gotcha.
All right, so that clears that up. We like to do things a year in advance. Simply because of booking things and letting the city staff know. And next year should be pretty special. Well, like I said, this group, that we're all history nerds. We're all dedicated history nerds, so I'm serious. You get a bunch of history introverts together in a room. Let's see, like I said, the Boo on the Boulevard, that's all set. I have it ready. Volunteers, of course, we want volunteers to come by and
I'll be there.
we have a little Halloween party, and John entertains the men in the back, and so we always have food and stuff like that. And so the ladies just kind of hang out in front.
And she's
take
got the
pictures.
hay bales out there. I mean, the kids come by and they take photos,
And I have a
you
huge
got a big
backdrop and everything,
backdrop.
but we
and
have to
it's
get
great.
our banner this year.
Yes.
That's it. So okay, so that's that. Christmas tour of homes.
Okay, the Christmas tour. So, with regards to the tour of homes, which you guys might really enjoy as well.
Not my house.
No, we've already chosen the 6 historic homes. And so
They're original. so
they're the 100-year original homes in Keystone. And so we are partnering with the Women's Club of Keystone Heights to design the tickets and sell the tickets and do all that. So I met with them to talk about what that would look like and what the homes would be. And the 6 homes that we have chosen are, the Lawrence home, which is right here on the corner across the street. That's John Lawrence, that's the original founder of Keystone Heights. So his home will be on tour, and these are all inside tours, which we haven't done in over a decade here in Keystone. The next home is the Bergen House, which runs right behind the Lawrence home on Magnolia, which is my house. And then the Sears home, which is Christine's house,
That's a strong,
the Strong
Jenny
house, but
Strong house.
I still call it the Sears house.
they're all Sears homes, actually.
But
Just mine and Carrie's,
that one-
I know the Lawrence bungalow is too.
That's the Palmetto house. So Christine's is the red house right behind the library there. And then the Leona Clark Cahey house is the home that's right next door to the red house, Christine's house. And that's Carrie's house.
Yeah,
And it's now the Palmetto Inn.
Okay.
So then at the end of that street, which is Palmetto, if you walk down to Lakeview, which is the street that runs right across by the beach, that home that is right at the corner is the Cadam House. And that's kind of it has more of a Mediterranean Spanish kind of architecture.
Isn't that the Wong house?
I thought it was the Cadam.
Oh, you mean the Wongs live there now? No, that's the E.A.
I mean, no,
Smith.
that's the Smith house.
The
I'm
Smith
sorry,
house.
back
The
up.
Cadman house.
The
is
Cadman
different.
house is about 4 doors down from that. Anyway, those 6 homes, all within walking distance, will be on tour, and they'll be inside the homes.
Just the
So-
first floor.
Right, just the first floor. So I met with the Women's Club and gave them what would be their responsibilities in this process and what our responsibilities would be as the Heritage Commission in this process. And so they designed the tickets, and basically I explained what we needed to have on the tickets. First, they had to be numbered. They needed to say that it was the Women's Club, but they're presenting, it's the Keystone Heights Heritage Commission's tour, and they're helping us, basically. And it's a centennial tour of homes. So they came up with this design. It also has on here the list of the homes, and then on the back, here's what the ticket kind of will look like. And then on the back of the ticket, which would be like this, of course they'll look like real tickets, will be a map with all of the homes highlighted so people can have an actual walking tour. So the idea is for everyone who purchases a ticket to meet at the pavilion, and the homes will all be open, and we're going to give the people who purchase tickets the best scenario as far as which direction to go and where to start from. But they'll start at the pavilion and then hopefully go across the street to the Lawrence home, go to the Bergen, go to the Palmetto, and just take that route. But the truth is they are open to do it in any which order they want, or only see 2 or 3 houses and not see them all. So the tickets will be going on sale in October. I've already approved this with the Women's Club, and I'm going to pass this down so Helen, so you can see it. They really did an amazing job. It also states on there that there's restrooms at the pavilion, no children under 10. We didn't want people trying to take strollers and all of that through these homes. No food or drinks inside the house, obviously no smoking inside the homes. And that the ticket proceeds will go to benefit the community. I believe that the proceeds that the Women's Club receive from the sale of the tickets, I think they're going to do a scholarship for one of the students at the high school. but I'm not sure about that. And it is a walking tour, so transportation's not provided, but I suspect a lot of people will have golf carts. Just take golf carts around, because it's only within a few blocks, really. So let me pass this down, so.
Now, when
Helen can
is
see
it?
that.
Christmas time?
So it will be on, what's the date on there?
21st.
The 21st. It's a Saturday, the Saturday before Christmas. And again, the most likely demographic, if you will, that's going to purchase these tickets are women and all their girlfriends. They all go together. Yes, we do have men come at 100%, but the majority, if you've ever gone to historic tours, it's women with their daughters or granddaughters and their friends, and everybody just makes a party out of it.
How much is it?
They're selling the tickets for $25 a piece, and we have put a restriction of only 150 sales. Because if you did the math as far as the timeline, if we start at 11 and end at, say, 3:30, keep in mind at that time of the year, it's dark at 5. So we don't want people crossing through the park in the dark. We don't want everyone out just walking in the dark. And so we're hoping to have everyone safely back to their cars by 4 o'clock. In order to do that, even if you start at 11 and you walk from each one of these houses, just doing, say, even 15 minutes through the homes, and then walk to the next one, and it ends up being 4 hours. So it's a fun 4 hours, but it's time, and if you don't start till 1:30, then you're going to miss some houses. There's just not a way to do that. So they did a nice job, doesn't they?
They've done
Yeah.
a wonderful, that's what
Yeah.
I mean, if we could, and this is, the Heritage Commission cannot do this, we can't charge because we're not a 501c3. So Deirdre came up with the idea of doing this through the Women's Club, and I think we need to partner with local groups as much as possible to get as much possible. I went through our group, our events. It's like I can't see what we can cut. We're doing, we've got an aggressive agenda, but I think it's what we need to do, what the city needs to do, and we're city entities.
And if I can add,
Yeah.
and this is going to be down in our budgeting, but I put together this, which we would like to have as maybe a banner of some sort, not a banner, but a poster of some sort that says that we would have at the entrance to the pavilion where everybody meets and has soft drinks and so forth, says Merry Christmas, welcome to the Heritage Commission Tour of Homes, thank you for attending. We want everyone to understand that safety and the enjoyment for everyone needs to be the priority. And so we are going into people's personal homes, so there's no drinking on the property due to the age of the homes. And this is really important to kind of publicly, as a public entity, to mention that there's no wheelchair accessibility to some of these houses. It's not like we're going to be ADA compliant. We can't be. It's there's lots of stairs, and some of them don't have handrails because these homes were 100 years old. The restrooms are only available at the pavilion, no food or drinks inside, and the last entry is at 3:30. So we do need, even though it'll be very inexpensive,
Right.
we do need to have a poster of sort put up, something similar to this. And then the other piece of this, and I wrote out a list of items that were the responsibility of the Heritage Commission, and then items that would be the responsibility of the Women's Club. And so I met with their board, which were 8 members, and they all received a packet from the Heritage Commission of all of these things. The last thing, and we need to do this as the Heritage Commission, is to send a letter, even though one of the homes are yours, and one's mine, and one's Carrie's, and one's Nina's. We still need to send out a letter to the two other members that are on the tour that are not part of the Heritage Commission or government, that, you know, we want them to take into consideration that people are coming into their homes, that, you know, valuable things like you want to, you know, tuck those away, you know, firearms, that kind of thing. They cannot, you know, we just have to address those things. And we know, Helen and I, because we're both real estate agents, we know that when homes go on the market, we have this same talk with every homeowner about, you know, people are coming into your house, and therefore, you know, you need to have some things tucked away. And so this letter will go out to the two other homes that are on the tour, kind of describing exactly what I just said about the whole tour and what's happening, and you know, what they can really expect.
Where will the tickets be sold?
The tickets are going to go on sale in October through the Women's Club. I've asked the Women's Club to let us know when they will go on sale so that we can put it on our Facebook page. And we want to have, you know, some of the tickets, because we want you guys to know about it first.
But where will the transaction take place, I think is what he's saying.
The Women's Club are handling all of it.
Somehow they can fix it up online, they can do that.
Yeah,
But
they-
if the city will
excellent.
take some, and then maybe she'll take, like they do the fair tickets.
Right.
That can be around.
Right.
Where others are than just on that, because a lot of people don't like doing stuff online.
Right, right.
So however you want to work that out, if you want to ask, whatever. But I know they will be available to pay for online.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's-
So I'm working with, right now, Samantha and Brooklyn, and in the Women's Club, and they, they'll let me know as we get closer to October.
I believe they want to try to start them, or at least introduce them, and it's almost October, do it on their Craft Festival on the 28th. They're going to have a booth advertising it,
Right.
so.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that's actually,
Okay.
and they'll be for sale there too, I'm sure, that day.
Yeah, I'm afraid these tickets will sell quickly. So if, because there's so many people in town that really want to go inside these homes, they, you know, and some of them are really amazing. So, not mine, but.
It's beautiful. Absolutely, just walking up, she's beautiful garden front to it, it's absolutely beautiful. While we're talking about the Christmas stuff, one thing that we've got to do is the date for putting the wreaths out. Do you remember what day we put them out last year? It was in November before Thanksgiving.
I think we did it in coordination with the city doing the lights.
Okay.
And we wanted to have all the wreaths up before they did the lighting ceremony, which, again, we'd have to.
I don't think we've got it. We definitely don't have to make more. I don't think
No.
there's gonna be much maintenance on it
It's
whatsoever.
gonna be pulling them out, she's showing them
Right.
up a little.
So,
and-
but we'll have to have the space for that, which means we're going to have to put in an application to use the pavilion, or we can do it in here.
Last year we had them here, didn't we?
No, we had it in the pavilion.
Oh, we did?
But for one thing,
But I remember.
the shed, you know, all the stuff kind of
Yeah.
sheds year to year, and
Right.
so you have to have a space that you can sweep up afterwards after,
Right.
you know, foo-foo them up.
Right.
So it's gonna have to be the pavilion, it's gonna have to be in November, but we don't have to have a weekend or anything, so I'm
No,
gonna
we
have
We
to
did
talk
it
to,
during the week last time.
Right.
yeah. I'll talk to Drew.
And all businesses are open.
Yes.
Did we what?
Did we go down there after the meeting or something?
We did, it was after, well, we can see if we can do it after the November meeting. Let's see what what date it's in November. Let's see.
It It doesn't take long to get it done.
It does not,
No.
and this year,
Somebody
see,
goes
last
down the street
year,
and does
we
it.
made 20
Right.
additional last year, and we had more than enough, and so there's no assembly this
I
year.
think we
That's
found a
what,
couple other places to put some, actually.
oh, good.
And we knocked it out. We just threw them in the back of our cars and
This
went.
year's gonna be really
Two
Exactly.
themes, Two themes.
Yep,
real
yeah,
easy.
we did it. Good.
So we'll only,
It's on the 19th.
it's the 19th, so let's, we'll have to check with Drew and see if it would be available the 19th.
If we gotta find out when we're gonna
Let's
turn the
see.
lights on.
Yeah, let's see. 19th, so we are gonna have to talk to Drew about that. And we don't have
Commission meeting.
to, we don't have to vote on that, so I can get with her outside of the meeting and confirm this date and time and see if that's when they do the lights also, see if that works. Gives us a little bit of time, but, and like I said, this is gonna be quick this year. Okay.
Everything you just said came on my phone.
I've done that before. I've done it before.
You might want to stay away from the locker room. That lady gave me a hard time.
Yeah,
Well, let's not go there.
yeah, she's not gonna get over that. Let's see, the next discussion is on the budget.
Okay, I have, let's see. Well, the list of things I made for the budget that we would want to consider was the ad for the historic calendars, which was $100. We had that. We will have the 2024 tour of homes, the 2024 school tour for 25 for next year. The wreaths, which we really probably don't have any amount.
Right, no, there's
Um,
nothing that we're gonna.
The plaque for homeowners, do we have any, is there a percentage that we take?
I
No.
was never on the
Okay.
planning committee.
Okay.
That was the
Appreciation Day for the volunteers, that, we had that last year. I don't know
We
if
did,
that this year.
actually, we combined it, we combined the appreciation luncheon with, that was our first,
With the round table.
with the roundtable, and I think, we'll.
So we'll
of
have
course-
money for catering for that?
Right, of course, all the associate members will
Right.
be invited to the roundtable.
And then the pie contest, we had a prize this year, which was really cute. And that, I think, was only like 40-something
Yeah.
dollars or something. And then, of course, the Keystone Heights marker, it's possible. I am trying to get the county to offset this, but it's possible we could be on, having to pick up the whole tab. And it's like $2,500.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion here. I know the fiscal year ends October 1st this year, and we have not spent any money. Hardly,
come that?
do what?
Well, we've had these other events, we've had spent some money.
Hardly
It's
anything.
not a lot.
Because it's all, we're all
Right.
volunteer powered. So if we could allocate that money out of this year's budget, and this is what we're going to have to do, we need to allocate everything as much as possible, because next year we're going to have the Chautauqua.
Right.
The way our budget goes, we started out at $1,500 a year, but the commission didn't do a lot of events. And so I don't think we ever spent the full amount. And then they raised it to $5,000. So we're not a costly organization. We try not to spend the city's money. And so we have a hard time getting it spent. And so Charlie was saying that if we wanted an increase, that we needed to, and I don't think we need an increase at this point,
I don't think we need it.
but we do have to spend what's in that $5,000 budget, or allocate it
Right,
before the 1st of October.
right.
And that has to be presented, I guess, to council, does it? No, that's just if we need anything for next year.
Right.
Okay.
We do have to, they do need the information, though, in our meeting with Charlie. He is the city manager, and so we met with him, and he does need what our budget line items will be so that he has an idea, because they have to look at the whole budget for the city, and we are part of that, so he does need to know where the money goes.
This is a new system. We've always just gotten a certain budget and then we just tried to.
But he wants to break it down a
Yeah,
little
he
more.
wants line items.
So we can go with, some of the items I just mentioned and then put a number in there
Okay.
for all of those.
We're gonna have to, because I think they're presenting the budget at this next meeting.
Next
It's the first-
Tuesday.
First reading of
On
the budget.
Tuesday, right.
So we've got to come up with something like that.
Is that the special meeting or the regular meeting?
It's a special meeting.
Right. First.
It's just budget really only. And then one other little thing that I had, and it kind of goes back to the museum piece, but when we were doing the student event, Tina Bullock would always bring the reels from the old movie house and all of that. She had all of that. And she's recently sold her property and downsized, so she wanted to declutter. And so she wanted to give that to the city. Well, she had texted me while I was on vacation. I really didn't get back to her till a week later. And she gave it to Todd, which is fine. But now we don't know where that is. So we want to follow up on that to see where that went, so we'll have it for next year.
Right. Also, I found out that all of the stuff that used to be in that tractor trailer out at the airport has been moved to our Public Works building. So we have to get together to meet, to go down there and take inventory. But at least it's not in that hot trailer out, with the spiders and everything.
I don't believe that building's air conditioned, is it?
I don't know, but it's gotta be cleaner than the one at the airport.
It is cleaner than the one at the airport, but it's,
Another thing that slipped my mind that I need to bring back up, that at the, the talk that I did at the library, there was one of our local firefighters that has a lot of memorabilia from the old firehouse.
Right.
That he wants to donate to the city also. But this, an item on our agenda is to come up with, we used to have the Keystone Cops. There was a police force here in Keystone. And they've just kind of, they were disbanded in the 80s. And until recently, we had a volunteer fire department. So one thing that I wanted to do for the Chautauqua was have a memorial, maybe a shadow box or something, and a memorial ceremony for the police officers, or there's one of them, the police chief's granddaughter is still alive. And then the volunteer firefighters, and have something permanent either inside the city hall, probably inside the city hall, with a shadow box. We still have all the badges, which is pretty cool. Well, a good way to display it. That's going to take some money. The display, the shadow boxes are going to take some money, and it'll come out of next year's budget.
right.
So
How much do you think?
Shadow boxes.
Anybody have any idea?
Shadow boxes, what they cost?
I guess it just depends on what type
What
of,
size it
yeah,
is too.
all size.
We'd have to do two, because I think they have, there's, the granddaughter has her grandfather's coat with all of his decoration on it, and then we also have all the badges. So that would be nice to have the coat as a centerpiece, and then the badges. So I would say something like 3 by 3.
Probably at least.
Two of them 3 by 3.
It's going to cost a lot of money.
I have never done anything like that before, so I don't even know how to Google search it.
Well, if you think about just what it costs to frame and mat something.
Right. Do we have a local person that does that? Is there a local business?
I don't know. I get all my framing done in Gainesville. But I
There's
don't know
a
anyone
girl
here.
in Melrose that does that. She does a beautiful job.
Who is she?
I don't know what her name is. I have her name at the office.
Can you text it to me when you get it? And then because it's always better if we
Yeah.
keep it in the community.
Absolutely. If we can do it
And it's-
local.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try. and then maybe I can get a ballpark figure from her, and get those memorials taken care of.
And then that way we can give Charlie that line item,
Right,
that we need X for that.
right.
Okay.
Well, there's one here that
Yeah.
says 3 times
Thank you.
67.99. Then there's other Amazon, of course, so it kind of depends. You could spend 150. So,
83 to $1,154.
there you go.
Well, I'll get together with this woman. She sounds like if she doesn't, she has some idea on the layout and
She
everything.
does
Yeah,
Showbox.
keep it local.
She does
Yes.
Brandon.
Keep it local.
Yeah, keep it local, and also it's always nice to work with, an artist,
Oh, yes.
someone who, they have so many more ideas that we don't have.
There's nobody at the American Legion or Knights of Columbus who could do that, because I know St. William's Church that I belong to, they redid all the woodwork in there, and they were from, I think they're from the Knights, whoever did it. So, they got cheap at
Yeah.
that point. But, I'll ask them when I go to church who did it, and maybe there's somebody who would volunteer.
Oh, that would be great.
And that would bring the community, bring the Knights, and then the
Right.
American Legion, you got them all together.
Those, I'm hoping we don't let that fall between the cracks, when those memorials are really important.
Right.
The other thing you mentioned on the budget, for the 4th grade next year, I know McCray was interested in participating.
Yes,
Also, that would
that's going to
expand
be
it to
the-
more students, if
Mhm.
you wanted to think about that.
We're gonna have an increase in the little souvenirs that we
Yeah.
provide for that.
So that would increase whatever budget there is.
That's about, wouldn't it double the
If we
numbers?
double it, it's not as big, I'd say maybe 3/4 again as many,
Mhm.
half to 3/4 again. So,
I don't
We'll
know.
need more volunteers though,
yeah,
for
well,
sure.
they
Well, I'm
will-
sure they'll come.
They'll have more teachers, obviously,
Yeah,
but
and
we'll
they'll
still
provide
need
their
more.
volunteers as well. But just to think about that in numbers, if we are going to expand that.
Okay, so I'll see if I can't get a line item for the shadow boxes, an estimate for the budget thing. You're gonna be at that meeting, right?
Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
But I think we need to get the numbers to Charlie prior
Yes,
to.
yeah. Okay. Let's see, I have I had some notes, man. Okay. So, the Clay County tourism interview with Ed Bennett. He was a hoot, he and his wife both. Learned a lot, he's wonderful, and if I have a question, I call him and he, and he.
They're spry.
Oh, yeah, just
amazing.
absolutely great. Now, the interview is supposed to be, we're starting to work with Clay County Tourism. They're wonderful. They're supposed to, there was noise about them doing our brochures, providing our brochures. But they're also going to, they have, what's the name of their app? It's like Explore Clay or something like that.
Right.
And they're going to put our historical walking tour or driving tour, all of our homes. So if you notice on the Facebook page, what I've done is I've put information on every single house. I started, a couple months ago, and I'm doing every single house of our original homes. And that was just to provide them with the data, to educate the community, but to give them a place to go as they put together this walking tour on their website, to give them the database for that. And so I'm right down to the last handful of homes. And so they should start working on that. I'll notify them that I'm done, and they can start working on that.
Which reminds me, as far as another line item,
Yeah,
we need to put together a brochure, the Heritage Commission needs to put together a brochure for the walking tour of homes that show the actual home on the brochure, because, what's on the ticket is very minor, and it's just really kind of, here's a dot of where the house is and the address. But we're going to supply the actual person who's purchased a ticket with a brochure of the homes. and a little write-up on each house. And so, nothing elaborate, but we'll still need a budget for that.
Okay.
And if we do have 150 people, and like to give you an example, it won't be this elaborate because we only have 6 homes. But this is one from another walking tour where they have the map and then they have every single home listed.
So something like this?
We need to do something like this. Obviously, it would only be 6 homes, but Christine has gone out. A lot of the homes in Keystone that are the original historic properties, all of the photos that you see, those on our Facebook page, are from the lake side of the property. Well, from the street side, they
You won't
look
recognize
entirely different. And so the idea would be to show what the original home was and then the street side photo, and then have just a little bit of write-up. Again, it won't be that elaborate, but it'll be a little information about each, property. These kinds of things, if you want to go with color, which would be really nice, and just kind of at least a, holiday thing and a little bit of information about the Heritage Commission, because we might as well do a commercial for the Heritage Commission at the same time and tell people how they can volunteer and when we meet and that kind of thing. So that would be all on here.
I think we need a workshop for that.
We do.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we need to have these printed. And printing is expensive. So I would just say that we need, and if we are going to be giving these out, we're selling 150 tickets, we're going to need more than that. So even if we go with 175, they could easily, it could be $500-600. I mean, it's not that crazy.
Well,
Thing.
like I said, this is something we can allocate out of the budget that we have not spent.
Right, and so that's why we need to get kind of a handle on how much something like this would be.
Where would we get that information?
I can get it.
Okay.
But I'll just say that it'll be,
Put that
say, maybe 10 pages, like one side for each house. We could do, let's see, like something like one house on this side, one house on this side, or however we want to do it. We do need a workshop for this.
Yeah.
Do you want to work on that with me?
The workshop? Sure. I have no experience when it comes to it, but I have all the knowledge to put into it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have the information for each
Right.
house.
Do you
So-
have somebody in mind to do the printing?
I was thinking Renaissance in Gainesville, but if we have somebody here local, again,
Bradford up there in Stark, the Bradford office shop.
they do
They
good.
do a great job in their office supers.
Okay, let's use that.
Bradford,
What's it called? Bradford Print Shop?
I think it's just called the office shop. I'll get the number for you.
Office shop.
I'll send you the other ladies.
Okay,
And
okay.
They just did some stuff for us for an event in Stark, and they
Did a nice job?
They did a great job.
Okay.
It was not super expensive.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Okay, let's do. I like to stay as local as possible.
Yep.
Um,
And something like this, I mean, we can have, I think we do need to say a big thank you to the Women's Club, and you know what I mean? We really need to make something like this nice. So that would be just another line item. That's why I wanted to bring that up.
See if, I'll ask Drew if she can't sit in on our workshop with us. She has for ideas,
She's good.
she puts all
Yeah.
these things together.
Yeah,
So
she's good. Okay.
So we can, I guess, get together at my house for tea or something.
We could do
something
that
like
because this is, nothing we're voting
Right.
on per se. It's putting together a brochure which is inside the confines of the whole women's tour. But we can also use these, change out the cover and use them for other events, We keep the context of each of the houses, and then as we do more, add more, be able to just flip out covers.
In other words, have a moving template?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That saves money.
So you'll have to get together because your schedule, mine's more flexible than yours. So just let me know when you want to.
All right, we'll
Do that.
figure something out.
Okay, let's see.
Can I have one last thing?
Okay.
We have a list of all of the people that are on the Heritage Commission and then what their seat is and what their term or length of term, because when the people on the Heritage Commission are nominated by the council. So they have to be approved by the city council in order to sit up here. And we have a date when they're appointed, and then there's a term. And all of this is really outdated. I mean, we have people that are not even on this Heritage Commission anymore that's still on.
On the website?
I don't know if it's on the website,
Okay.
but can you ask Drew about this?
Yeah, where
And
did this come from?
I've just had this one, and
Oh, is
I
that-
didn't
that
know
was
if
in
it's
our
been
book?
updated. Yeah,
Our book hasn't
Is
been
it?
updated in forever and ever.
right. So I'm thinking it needs to be.
Yeah. Okay, Drew, and when we do the brochure thing.
We can ask her about that.
Yeah, because I need to get the wreath date from her too. When we can, no, that's right, see if we can get the pavilion for the November 19th for the wreaths. And that's right after our meeting, so.
Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
yeah, I hope I understand my notes when I'm done. Okay, I don't think I can think of anything else at the moment. But like I said, let's try to focus on building subcommittees. Because,
That's a great idea.
and make sure, we'll check and make sure we stay within the sunshine laws. But from what I understand, as long as there are notes, I mean, who do we turn them into?
Probably Drew, I would think. But we can ask her. who
Maybe
turn
we
them
can come
into.
up with a standard form, to fill out for the subcommittees and,
Yeah.
just have a standard form. Okay, so that's another thing for Drew too. Form for subcommittees, just for subcommittee meetings.
Right, and we'll just take the minutes. The minutes basically, that I've done in the past for just the other Clay County meetings, really just have the date and time we met, the location where we met, who was in attendance, and then just very brief notes about, the overall concept of why we were meeting, and then when we adjourned. It's
Okay.
just really,
Yeah,
really simple.
we'll see if we can't, do they give you a form for that, or do you
No.
just write it on a piece of
I
paper?
just wrote it up.
I
Well, I
want-
wrote it up as
I want a
regular
form.
minutes.
If I don't have something, a template right there,
Maybe Drew can design one.
I'm an abstract thinker, and
Jeez.
I'm all over the place. I need to know what information I need to put in. I do, I need to know. Okay, so I think does anybody have anything else to add? Nope.
Good job.
You got anything? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.